Hello, hello, welcome back to online learning. Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd. Welcome back to online learning. You have library today, so please be sure to be checking Miss Walton's page. She is so excited to see all of your activities that you get to complete, and also check Miss Umansor's page at 2. We are continuing to talk about reptiles today, so please remember to log on to Imagine Math. We have been checking, and I know that some of you are getting on, so please be sure that you are taking the time to do that, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, however much time you have during your day to do that. Today, we're going to be looking at different types of reptiles, and to begin, we're going to watch a short video that kind of explains to us a little bit more about the characteristics about reptiles.
Hi, friends! Today we are going to talk about another group of vertebrates. Today we will talk about... Oh, it almost got me! Today we will talk about reptiles. Reptiles are oviparous animals, meaning they're born from eggs. Their bodies are covered in hard scales. Their legs are really short. Actually, some don't even have legs, like snakes. Some reptiles have a shell, like a turtle. Good morning, turtle. They are cold-blooded animals, which means their body temperature varies depending on the air temperature. They breathe through their lungs. They usually live in warm places. Did you know that reptiles live longer than any other animal? Some, like turtles, can live up to 100 years. That's all about reptiles. I hope you guys liked it. I'm going to get going. I don't think I'm welcome here. Help!
All right, so that was just a short video that explained to us a little bit more about the stuff that we learned on Monday, but today we are focusing on 5 different types of reptiles, and here you'll see a little chart that has all of them. So we have iguanas, tortoises and turtles, snakes, alligators, and chameleons. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the first one. So the first animal that we're going to look at is iguanas. So iguanas can be as long as 5 or 6 feet. That's almost as tall as most humans on Earth. Another thing about them is that they are herbivores. So herbivores means that they mostly eat plants. However, the babies, some of the young iguanas, also eat insects. So it doesn't mean that they only eat plants. Sometimes they'll eat insects to get them the nutrients that they need. And like we talked about on Monday, most reptiles don't take care of their babies after they're born. Remember how we said that once the babies are born, they're on their own. So iguanas, in order to make that a little bit easier for them, they will migrate, or special word migrate, which means that they move or they travel somewhere else so they can have their babies. They'll leave their babies in a nest, and that way their babies will be safe once they come out of their eggs. So the second type of animal that we have is a tortoise or a turtle. So there are some differences between them, which is what we're going to talk about right now. But one of the most important things I need you to remember is that they are not exactly the same thing. They look pretty similar, but they're not the same thing. Now, both tortoises and turtles are herbivores. So they like to eat leaves, they like to eat grasses, flowers, and fruit. A lot of tortoises that live on land will travel or will be fed fruit like strawberries just to help them keep nutrients. The second thing is that they will dig their nest. They're not like birds that build nests with twigs or with leaves. tortoises actually have to dig underground so they can lay their eggs. Now, sometimes they can have as little as only one egg or as much as 30 eggs at one time. They put them all in their hole, in the hole that they dig, cover it to make sure that they are protected, and then it's time for them to leave. Because remember, reptiles don't really wait until their babies are born. They lay them, and then it's time to go. Now the last thing that we're going to talk about tortoises is how they are different from turtles. So the thing that separates tortoises and turtles is that tortoises cannot swim. So these big ones, this is how you know that they can't swim. First of all, their weight is too much for them to be able to float or to survive in water. But one of the things is that they can actually hold their breath for a long time. So let's say, for example, it needs to go cool down or it needs to go clean itself. It is able to hold its breath and go in the water, but it has to come out. Another thing about them is that when they go into their shell, whether it's to sleep or to feel protected, they also need to hold their breath. Turtles, on the other hand, are able to swim, which is why you can see this picture, for example, he's in the water, he's having, a fun time. They are able to breathe and swim underwater for a long period of time. So turtles can live in land or water. Tortoises can only live in land. All right, the next type of reptile that we have are snakes. So this is one of the most common ones, and this is one that we saw in the video as well. Now, snakes don't have legs like most reptiles, but they are really fast because they slither. So some snakes can be as short as 4 inches, and I have a ruler here that I can show you. So it could be this small, or as long as 28 feet. So some snakes, like the anaconda, can be as long as 28 feet. That's like a lot of people put on top of each other. That's really long. Now, one of the difference about this reptile from the ones that we've been talking about is that they are carnivores. And carnivores, if you listen to the word, carne sounds like the Spanish word carne. ¿Y qué significa carne? Meat. So snakes eat meat. They like to eat insects, rodents, birds, eggs, other snakes, fish, and large mammals. So it depends on the size. Obviously, if you have a 4-inch snake, it probably can't eat a bird. But if it finds a small little mouse or a small insect, it'll be able to eat to get the nutrients. Versus if you have a really big snake like the anaconda, it's gonna need something bigger to fill it up. One of the most important things about them is that they don't have the ability to chew their food or break their food up. So they actually swallow the whole thing. They swallow the whole thing. So if they find a little grasshopper, it's going to eat the whole thing. It doesn't chew it. It doesn't break it down. It eats it completely. All right. Now we have the alligator. So alligators are different from crocodiles due to their nose, but alligators are large reptiles. So kind of like we talked about snakes right now, it depends on the size. They can start off small, but they can go up to be 18 feet long. So they are very powerful, and they have really strong jaws. They are only meat eaters. They do not eat any leaves. They don't like their veggies. They like their meat. So like the snakes, it depends on the size of the alligator what it's going to eat. Obviously, if it's something small, like a small alligator, it's going to eat a little, the food's going to be smaller. But if we have a big 18-foot alligator, it's going to want something bigger to fill it up. And lastly, alligators stay with their eggs to defend them and help them after hatching by leading them to the water. So, like I said, most reptiles don't take care of their babies. Once they lay their eggs, it's like, bye-bye babies, I'm going to go back home, and the babies have to help themselves. But alligators kind of have that mammal feeling where they feel like they have to take care of their babies. So they will stay on top of their nest, make sure that the babies in the eggs are able to hatch safely and that there's no animals trying to put them in danger. So after they're born, the mom alligator will take them to the water so they can clean themselves up, and then they're able to start their lives on their own. Once mom sees that they're born, once mom sees that they are okay, she's able to leave and say, okay, it's time for you to take care of yourself. And the last animal or reptile that we're going to be talking about today is the chameleon. So chameleons are a special type of lizard. They're the word is called unique because they have curled tails, really big eyes, and very special feet. So their feet are sharp because they have to have a powerful grip. So remember how we talked about on Monday that they needed to be able to stick to the walls or to the trees. So the chameleon mostly lives on trees or branches. So it's very important that it has a strong hold of where it's going to be living or where it's going to be staying so it doesn't fall. Now, chameleons are omnivores. Omnivores means that they eat plants and meat at the same time or during their life. So it's not like they only eat plants or they only eat meat. They eat both. So they like to eat insects, fruit, leaves, worms, snails, grass. So you can kind of see how they have the plant side where they eat fruits and leaves, but they also have the meat side when they're eating insects and worms. Now, one of the most special things about chameleons is that they can change colors. So this is going to be helpful for our lesson on Friday, but this special word is called camouflage. So chameleons have the ability to change their colors depending on their surroundings or how they are feeling. For example, if it's maybe scared or if it sees that a big animal is coming its way and it's laying on grass, the chameleon is going to turn green so the animal can't see it. But if something is getting too close to it, maybe a person or even a predator, it's going to change colors really, really brightly so it can show that it's very angry and that you should not come near it at all. So this is a special way or a special thing that chameleons have that helps them stay protected and survive in their environment. So for this activity, I want you to choose your favorite reptile from the ones that we just talked about during the lesson. Now, on your dojo, you have the ability to draw on there, and that's what I want you to do. I know you guys have been wanting different activities, and we were able to practice with coloring and drawing on Dojo. So I want you to give that a chance. You're going to go to your Dojo app or on the website, and you're going to draw your favorite reptile. Is it an iguana, a snake, a turtle? Is it a chameleon, or is it an alligator? You choose. You're going to draw it on Dojo, and you're going to add a voice recording of why it's your favorite animal. What makes it so special that you think it's your favorite animal? When you've done that, you turn it into Dojo, and I can't wait to hear it. And with that, boys and girls, we are done with our lesson today. Thank you so much for participating with me and for being so attentive. I appreciate all of your hard work. You guys are doing an awesome job. And I will see you tomorrow for math. Hasta mañana.